Handbook of the Cone Collection, 1955. A scientist learns early in his education that things are not what they seem, and that it is furthermore no easy task to tell what they seem like. It is, for instance, not difficult to talk of representative painting, but what aspect of a physical object has a preeminent claim to be represented? To take but the most obvious question, is it the object seen from in front, from above, or from the side? One can imagine a crusty Egyptian Tory insisting that real objects should be represented only in profile, except for the eye and shoulders, and that any attempt to represent anything from in front would be crazy due to a desire to be different from other people, a wild innovation initiated by a confused and bewildered, not to say godless, society. This may seem like extravagant exaggeration, but recall, if you will, the criticism with Degas had to meet and Manet. It was the willingness to admit that points of view might change and were not decreed once and for all by supernatural powers at some early date in human history that distinguished the Mrs. Cone from most of their contemporaries, and I suppose it was the same trait which made their society so agreeable to the young. There may have been a time in the remote past when a person might talk about the things that deeply interested him with his parents, but that time was not in the 1920s. Just as one will avoid oversimplification, one is forced to admit that the gap between those of us who had gone through the First World War in however an unheroic fashion, and those who had not, was too great to be bridged. It was not merely the sulkiness of the professional veteran which set us apart. It was the feeling that a new and perhaps more absurd world had come into being, a feeling amply justified by subsequent decades, and that the kind of painting, literature, and sculpture which had done well enough before 1914 could never express the general uneasiness, disquietude, apprehension, and finally anguish which haunted us even in our happiest moments.